Happy Tuesday, friends and fellow collectors. Andy Drifter here. Got some submissions back from SGC. 4 of them came back as 10s, and 1 of them was not graded at all. We'll talk about that more when we get to it, starting off with this rookie card auto from 2024 Topps Heritage. And as you can see, double dimes. Evan Carter last year showed a lot of promise in 20-plus games. Had a batting average of over 300 and an OPS over 1,000 during those regular season games. Earned himself on the playoff roster, and he continued to hit well. And in 17 postseason games, including the World Series, he posted a batting average of 300 and an OPS of over 900. Many people, including myself, had him among the favorites to win Rookie of the Year this year, but it's not going so well for young Evan. He has been batting under the Mendoza line for quite some time. I don't know why he's in a funk, along with the rest of the team. I mean, the Rangers aren't playing awful, but they're right around 500 in what is a relatively weak division. Hopefully he can turn it around, and so can the Rangers. You know, there's a lot of great young talent on that team, enough to maybe go on a dynasty run, as hard as that is to do in any sport. But yeah, that is the first card I have to share with you, a rookie card auto from Evan Carter, 10th youngest player in Major League history to appear in a World Series game. Going from one young phenom to another, this is a 2021 Bowman Heritage Auto Refractor of Heston Kjerstad. And as you can see, it also registered as double dimes. Now, the problem with him, as he's been bouncing back and forth between AAA and the Orioles lineup, is that the O's don't have any space for him in the outfield. So they got a decision to make as we get closer and closer to the trade deadline. Trade him away in exchange for some talent that's needed, or hang on to him. You know he wants to play in the big show. He hasn't batted well in the limited plate appearances he had in 2024, but that's not his fault. When you're just pinch hitting here and there, in and out of the lineup intermittently, what happens is you can't really get into any kind of groove, and you start thinking to yourself, man, I got to make the most of these plate appearances. You start to overswing, overanalyze, overthink. But this guy is loaded with talent. It's an on-card auto. I'm pretty psyched about that. And we'll have to see what the Orioles do. So far, they have displayed great decision-making with their prospects, but it may be in young Heston Kjerstad's interest to be traded elsewhere. We're going to have to see. As I mentioned earlier, one of the cards was not graded at all, and you're looking at it, 1959 Topps Sandy Koufax, one of the best to ever do it. And the reason given, because of trimming, or evidence of trimming. But that's happened a few times, especially with these vintage cards, but a great looking card nonetheless, so I will hang on to it, and I guess this will be one of those ones that will not get graded. Next up is a player variation rookie card of Bobby Witt Jr. This is from 2022 Topps. Right before the start of the season, he signed the richest contract in Royals history, 11 years, $288 million. And he is living up to it, and then some. At the moment, he is in the top 5 in the American League when it comes to runs scored, batting average, doubles, triples, stolen bases. He's in the top 10 in RBI and OPS. And the Royals, they are playing some great baseball. They got the 3rd best record in the American League. So expect Bobby Witt Jr. to be in the MVP conversation at the end of the season, the Royals to be in the playoff picture, and perhaps he will do the 30-30 in 2 consecutive years. I'm always happy to get back a 10, but I was especially ecstatic about this one. 1992 Star Picks SNL of the late, great, one and only Chris Farley. When I set this off, I really didn't care what it came back. I just wanted to see it in a slab of some kind, and the fact that it came back as a 10 is just so awesome. And there is a biopic in the works that's scheduled to be released sometime next year about Chris Farley, the highs and the lows. He definitely was part of some great comedy classics, Tommy Boy, Black Sheep, Beverly Hills Ninja. And you may have heard me mention this before, but I think that the people in charge of the biopic will do right by him. They'll paint a fair picture of his life. You know, he had some flaws which ultimately led to his demise. But when it came to comedy, especially physical comedy, this man was an absolute legend. And yeah, I am just so stoked to have this card as part of my PC. It's a 10. Chris Farley, that's how we're going to end it. Thank you for watching. Be sure to hit like and subscribe and enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.